sisters, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. How y'all doing? Yay, I'm here. It's always a blessing to be here, to be spending this time with y'all, diving into these movies and television shows and all that good stuff. But yes, I have to first ask y'all, how's it going? How y'all week is going thus far? What are y'all up to? How y'all doing? Anything that y'all watched lately that y'all want to talk about, let me know. That y'all done checked out. Y'all like, okay, beloved, this was really, really good. Let me know in the comment section, because y'all know I love hearing from y'all. I really do read them all. And yes, I'm always thinking about y'all. Like, seriously, a great deal. I'm going to say a great deal of the day. I am thinking about you. And if I'm thinking about you, I'm praying about you. So, yeah. I'm doing okay. I know sometimes I need to be remembering to add that in there. Like when I ask y'all how y'all doing, at least say, okay, how I'm doing. But I am doing amazing. It's always good to be jumping on here with y'all, spending this time together, because like I always be saying a lot of times, it do takes a lot to get up on here. And that consistency, being disciplined, diligent, all of that. And y'all know I'm working towards that. So please keep me in y'all prayers for that. But yes, we're going to go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled Our Wild Hearts. You can actually find this film streaming on different platforms. But first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. After meeting her father for the first time, a teen develops a bond with the wild mustang that needs protection. Y'all know over the weekend we talked about, we had another film that had to do with the horse named Chance, which was really, really fun. Had a blast with that one. I told y'all I do love films that have animals and different things in there and all of that, especially when they have a bond with a particular character. That is always super, super fun and everything. But yes, we have the same type of deal going on here, however, but a little bit different. Because here we have the team. Her name is Willow. And Willow, at the very beginning of this film, well, number one, she lives in Malibu. So she does come from a wealthy home, even though her home has like, let's see. Okay, it's her single mom. Yeah, her single mom. I think her name is Kate. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But yeah, her single mom does make a good living for the both of them, and they live in Malibu, and everything is pretty good. Willow has a pretty privileged life, and she's hanging out on the beach with her friend, and her friend is like complaining, y'all. She get this phone call. It's her dad checking in on her, saying he want to have lunch with her, and you was like, okay, what is wrong with that, y'all? I mean, many of us would say that, but then we got to put ourselves in her situation. You know, a lot of girls, like, they're young in that teenage phase. You don't want your parents kind of hovering over you like that, babying you when you feel like you know it all. Sometimes people got their butt on their shoulder, different things like that going on. So we get it. But at the same time, that scene particularly turned me off. I was like frowning, like, ugh. That is, y'all are so snobby, you're ungrateful, and different things, and they're chatting together. And one of the things that stood out to Willow is, as her friend is complaining about her dad, just like really checking up on her, really being what a good dad is. And her friend is kind of complaining about it, and she realizes, like, wow, it would be nice to have a dad to worry about me. It would be nice to have a dad to check up on me, who wants to go have lunch with me. It'd be nice to have a dad to complain about. Because Willow realized, like she's been raised, like I said, by her single mom, and she never met her dad. She knows, obviously, you have a dad that exists out there somewhere, but she doesn't know his story. And every time that she kind of bring it up to her mom kind of brushes it off, puts it on the back burner, like it's like something that her mom just doesn't want to deal with at all. We don't really know at this point of the film why it is that way, why her mom feels like she doesn't even want to share not even a tiny bit of information, not even her dad's name at all. So it's like, okay, what is going on? That scene, like, it goes deep. We want to know, girl, tell us. So Willow does get up the nerve to bring up the subject when her mom picks her up from the beach after her friend went off with her dad and things, and her mom is kind of shocked about it again, and you see it all over her face. It's not something she wants to talk about. She's very busy. She got different things that are going on. She don't have time for this. And Willow really rises up in this moment, and to me, in a very, very disrespectful way. And I didn't appreciate it, but at the same time, I knew where it was coming from. It was coming from a deeply wounded place, and her daughter tired of being put off. Her daughter tired of feeling like you know, you're keeping something that is very important to her. She feels like half of who she is out there somewhere, and she has no clue her story, the backstory, and she wants to know who she is fully. And I get it. She has every right to know, regardless of whatever her dad turns out to be. You do have a right to know who your father is. I get that, but it's just the way that she went about doing it, the way she was questioning her mom, like really lashing out and really getting back with her with that flip mouth and everything. I was like, girl, you better back up and calm down a little bit now, okay? Remember, that's still your mama right there, okay? The woman that raised you, regardless if you feel like she wrong or right, she gave you life, and she's still making sure you keep the life, and she gave you a very privileged life. So it's like, you can't really be that upset with her, but I do get it. I do get both sides of it, and I really appreciate that her mom, even though her mom kind of did put her in her place just a tad bit, but I appreciate that her mom didn't really like nail her to the cross in a sense. Her mom still was very, very patient about it, still very understanding, and kept her composure, was very cool. And I'm like, not many parents would have responded in that manner, but that was such a blessing that her mom did. And so Willow decides to do some searching of her own, because she's like had enough. She's done went that route so many different times and come to a dead end that her mom obviously is not ready to spill the beans about who her dad is. So she's gonna do a little bit of digging herself, and it's pretty hard because they are living in the time that we're kind of living in. Internet, different things are available, but it's like that doesn't help Willow any, because she doesn't even have a name to go by. She has literally no information to kind of take it to technology a little bit. So she starts to dig around her home and come across a picture, a photo. And when she does and bring it to her mom's attention, she sees it automatically that this is something deep right now, because her mom showed that it was something there about that photo. And her mom does end up telling her everything, giving her a little bit of backstory about how and why she made the decisions that she did make, obviously thinking that she was doing the right thing for not only her daughter, but for her and for her daughter's dad, which is named Jack. Okay, so you would think that the way that her mom reacted, that maybe that the dad was probably just not a good dad, didn't really want to have nothing to do with the situation. It was probably a horrific story back there that you just didn't want to share with your child. That's what will lead viewers to believe, okay? Because what other reason would you be hiding this and you don't want to give her any information? But we do see that after revealing all of this to Willow, that Willow does have an opportunity to go down to the countryside and meet her dad for the very first time. And right off the bat, like the vibe that you get from her father is such a loving, humble, meek spirit. It's like, what? Like, who wouldn't want a dad like this? And even though he had no clue that he even had a daughter, a 15-year-old daughter, the way that he welcomed her and that immediate connection that they had at the very beginning when they first met each other for the first time, you can tell that they knew inwardly that they belonged to one another. And you start to see this relationship develop throughout the film, and it was amazing to see how Jack stepped into this dad role pretty easily. Yes, he had some stumbling blocks, some bumps in the road, but for the most part, he was very open. And I think that's what really helped him make that connection with his daughter, who he never knew ever. And now you're meeting a 15-year-old, practically almost grown woman here. So you missed out on a great deal. But the connection was so strong and the bond was there, and that level of respect that you owe to a parent, that honor was like automatic, because he was so gentle, he was so meek, so patient and kind with Willow. And on top of with her wanting to know him, that really helped with the situation as well. And to see that her dad lives a total different life than she was accustomed to. Like, she is from Malibu, used to having everything, going to the beach, all this stuff, internet access, and to be out here in the country where you don't have all of that access to these type of things. You're leaning more into nature, you're moving more into that slower pace, that particular environment, and learning her dad ways and seeing how he deals with horses and all of that. It really was an eye-opener for her, but it was also a bridge that that kind of really brought them together and kept them super, super close. And it was amazing to see. Like I said, y'all know I love the whole family deal. I love the whole second chances deal. And we get all of that here in this film, plus that connection with the whole horses thing and seeing how God uses animals to bring about his plan, his perfect will for our lives and different stuff. So that was really, really cool. And I really did enjoy Willow's character. The only time, like I said, that I was pretty much turned off by her was probably that first scene when we meet her hanging out with her friend. And I gotta chop that up to kids being kids. You're ignorant, you're a teenager, you don't really know nothing at that time, you think you know everything. So I know I gotta chop it up to that, because that's really what she was, and she still is, obviously, throughout the film. But I do love the maturity and the growth that we saw in her character. That's what made me like, okay, I feel you a little bit more, Willow. You're not as snobbish as I thought that you were. So that was pretty cool. And it also take you back to, like, if you obviously not a teenager at this time in your life, it does take you back to certain moments, even though you may not have been, or some of you may have had a life like Willow, where you were brought up on the beach, Malibu, with everything at your fingertips or something like that. But even if you weren't, it does make you go back to have those flashbacks to when you were a teen, and maybe the different kind of attitudes you had, or your personality, and what things you would have done differently, knowing what you know now and having gained the wisdom that you have now. And it also make you like, yes, you can reflect on the past, but you also got to look towards the future a little bit, because it's very easy. We do that naturally with the past. A lot of us as human beings, when we feel like that we could have done things a little bit better, we could have been a lot more appreciative, a lot more thankful, been in the word quicker, and all of just a great deal of things. We can look back at our past and be like, oh, I would have done that differently. But take a little, and this could be a little bit harder for you because the future hasn't happened yet, but look towards the future, and what would that future you would appreciate if you would have done right now, in this moment, right now? What would that future you be excited and happy and appreciative about that you made that particular move? Like, for example, being in your word more, having more, like, really focusing on your relationship with Jesus Christ. That older version of you would definitely appreciate something like that, because it would make things obviously a little bit more easier at that time, so it makes you want to make steps to be a better you, where the future yourself would be excited about life and different things. So I had all of those kind of different emotions as I was watching the film, and like really looking at the mistakes that these characters made and how they were getting restoration or redemption and restoring relationships, bridging these gaps that shouldn't have been there in the first place. All of that good stuff you're gonna find here in this film, and the scenery is breathtaking. I gotta put that in there. Y'all gonna really have a wonderful time just watching it, right? Once again, this film is titled Our Wild Hearts, and we're gonna go ahead and get into our scripture before I leave y'all for today, right? And we coming out of Proverbs 14:22, and it reads, do they not go astray who devise evil, but mercy and truth belong to those who devise good. So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Please remember to leave y'all thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because y'all know I do read them. And shout out to all of y'all who actually do pay attention and respond to the posts that I be posting, which a lot of times I do kind of repost. Well, I be posting about videos that that may have not showed up in your feed for whatever reason. I put that out there so you don't miss anything, but also different scriptures I try to put out throughout the day, at least maybe one, to kind of bring you back, because y'all know that whole saying, out of sight, out of mind. So I want to keep the word before you, because if you keep the word before you, naturally you're going to be praying, naturally he's going to be on your mind. So I'm thinking about y'all souls in that aspect as well, so y'all make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. I'm also thinking about, let me say this right now because it literally just crossed my mind in this video. I'm thinking, yeah, I'll be doing the post, but maybe do like little mini Devo videos here as well, because like I said, yes, this is a channel for yeah. I'm at a loss for words now, but yeah, well, it kind of slipped my mind. But yes, this is a channel for movies and television shows that's what we deep dive into. We review, we discuss all of that. But at the same time, it's about encouragement as well. And y'all being mindful of the Lord, that is so important. That comes before the movies, the television show, and entertainment and different things. So I'm thinking about, I may probably want to do that, put out the little mini devos for you. I don't know if anybody will actually watch them or whatever, but either way, I know it'll help me. I know it'll help me because I can replay them and listen to it myself and be encouraged and all of that, and be reminded to get up in this because it's important, right? So that's all I have for y'all for this video. If y'all have any suggestions on how this channel can serve you even better, please let me know in the comments, because I am always open to ideas. I do read the comments, I do respond. So yes. So until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.